Eagle. When I said that, most of you probably just thought of a large bird with talons and a beak made to rip the flesh from fish. But no, different kind of eagle. When I say that, I'm speaking of the highest rank that can be achieved in the Scouting Society. I am one of that rank. And my Eagle project, which is a service project made to give back to the community, it was a very difficult process, one that required a lot of time and effort, and I chose to do mine to try to give back to the church which housed our troop. Attaining the rank was something that was very big for me. I wanted to give back to the church because they've been there for the troop and for me the whole time that I've been in scouting. I couldn't think of anything to do for the church because, well, it's a church. A lot of the patrons do everything they can to help it as well. But one day a huge storm blew through, knocked down a telephone pole across the street, which fell and knocked down the 3 crosses in front of the church. But before that I had also noticed that they had termite damage as well as had been damaged by weed eaters down at the base. And when the crosses had been replaced, I decided to build a rock garden around the crosses to help beautify church grounds as well as to help protect the crosses from future damage. And the project was easy to approve, but the real problem came with actually getting it done. It was more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and first had to start by finding a place to attain rock for a rock garden. I found Minic Materials. It's behind TLC. And they agreed to sell me the rock at cost, which was very helpful. And for those of you who don't know, cost is the price at which they buy it from their realtor. So pretty much I was cutting out the milkman. But I had to find a way to transport the rock. Luckily for me, I found soon after that there was a dad in the troop who owned a construction company who agreed to help transport the rock using one of his dump trucks. So that helped a lot. The day before, he came and assisted in transporting the rocks from Minic Materials over to our site, whereas then my dad and I spent the next few hours prepping the site and getting everything we could just laid out and everything there and getting everything ready for the next day. That next day, on the day of the project, several people came and helped, mostly people from the troop. And it was a very long process getting all of it done. We first had to dig down a bit so we had a base and could spray weed eater all over to kill any weeds that were there already, and then we put a semi-permeable tarp down so that water could go through and wouldn't build up in the rock garden, but no weeds could grow up under it and destroy the rock garden. Then the next process was laying all of each individual brick around making a wall base. Then after we'd finally finished that, just filling it in with a bunch of stones and pebbles, and I put it off for a long time, took as much time as possible on it, and that was not the right idea. Would have been much easier had I just gone straight at it from the beginning. My Eagle project was a big part of my scouting career and for my life, and I'm very glad that I was able to give back to the church in any way that I could, but it felt amazing to finally finish that, and even better when I got the rank itself.